Hey guys, how is it going? I hope everyone is doing all right, day or night whenever you tune in and see this. So this is going to be a general reading for both Leo, fire sign Leo, and earth sign Virgo. So yeah, we have some good stuff hopefully coming up here for you guys. And we are going to do a quick little sound bell in a few minutes and then go ahead and get started on Leo. And then afterwards, I will be posting the timestamps for people who are watching this later if they just want to watch Leo or they just want to watch Virgo. So that will definitely be there for you guys. All right. And yes, everybody is welcome, right? So whether you are a sun sign, Leo, you are a rising sign, Leo, you have your moon in Leo, or you have Leo somewhere else in your chart, right? Everyone does have Leo and Virgo somewhere. So everybody is welcome. And these are general readings, all right, multiple people. So always take what resonates with you and leave the rest behind. And so it could cover anything like love, work, friends, family, health, money, etc. All right, so keep that in mind. And it could also be about you or one person you're dealing with, multiple people you're dealing with, or your general environment situation. So again, just use your intuition and how it makes sense for you. And if it doesn't make sense, of course, never force a reading. Always check out your other placements. You can get a free birth chart online, even if you don't have your exact birth time. So Cafe Astrology is one that I just use off the top of my head if you want to do that and you haven't yet. But yeah, let's see what else here. Leo, I've also taken your picture. So I always take one picture of all the cards here for each zodiac reading. And so I will be posting it after the live is done for some people who want to look at it more up close in detail or pull it up while they're watching the reading later, if they're watching the reading later, that kind of thing. So if that's something you're interested in, all you have to do is click in the description box below and follow the instructions there on how to see the photo. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Oh yes, right before we get started, also I do want to say for everyone that has been liking the videos and sharing the videos, I really do appreciate your energy. So thank you so much. And if you haven't subscribed yet after you watch this video, if there's something that you liked about it and you want to hit the thumbs up, the like button, it helps share it more with others. So it's a great free way to support the channel here, but of course only if you feel guided, and of course letting me know too that there was something in the video that you liked. Another great free way to support the channel, if you haven't already, is to subscribe. So again, if you want to do that at some point, all you have to do is hit the subscribe button, and as long as you have a free YouTube account with your email set up, then you'll just get notified when I put out new readings. And then the third great free way to support the channel too, like I already mentioned for some people who've already been doing that I really appreciate, is to physically send it to your friends or family if you feel guided. So thank you, of course. All right, so that's pretty much it. So now let's go ahead and do some grounding and do a quick little sound bell before we get into Leo's reading here. All right, so you can take a couple of deep breaths if you feel guided, or you can just listen, whatever makes sense for you. But we're just going to let go of anything that was holding us back. Also, I want to make sure that I am a clear channel for spirit to convey the messages to you guys as clearly as possible as well. All right, so here we go for Leo. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and put this little sound bell over here and get started with your reading. All right. So, yes, Leo, we are going to be talking about the month of February. So, if you're new, and even if you're not new, I always kind of just go over it real quickly, or if you haven't been here in a while, we are going to talk about each week's time period or so. So the first four cards on the top can correspond to a week's time frame, but it can, of course, be a little bit before, a little bit after. And then we are going to talk about what's on the top and the bottom of the two different tarot decks that I'm using. And then, of course, at the very end, we have two oracle cards for you as well, Leo. So let's go ahead and call out your cards here. We have the Death card in the reverse position. We have the Five of Sacred Circles, also known as Five of Pentacles, in the right side up position. We have the Emperor in the reverse position, and we have the Eight of Staves in the reverse position. So we'll talk about the other cards where Spirit wants to discuss those. So I just wanted to call out the first four, though, here real quickly. And let me just turn up music for background noise for the dogs and everything. All right. But yeah, let's see here, Leo. I like to call out the other zodiac frequencies as far as the major arcana in the beginning for some people who are looking for that. Okay. So we do have four major arcanas here. So three are in the past position and one is in the future, current, present possibilities position. All right. So we have Scorpio energy, we have Capricorn energy, we have Libra energy, and we have Sagittarius energy. Okay. So what does that mean for some people? You could be dealing with a Scorpio, a Libra, a Sagittarius, or a Capricorn, or you have a lot of those placements heavily in your birth chart, or the other person does, or it could even be referencing Capricorn season, Scorpio season, Libra season, Sagittarius season of this year, of last year, etc. And the last thing it may be for some people is referencing some area in your birth chart or the other person's birth chart, etc., that may hold even more clues here, okay? Or it just means nothing at all, but I just wanted to mention it at the beginning. All right. Now let's keep going, though, and see what your majority of your minor arcana is, the one that's most prevalent. So we've got 3 wands and 1 pentacle. Yep. All right, so it's clearly wands. All right. So what does this mean? It can be an underlying theme to the reading. So wands talk about our physical body, right? What makes us passionate. Wands are fire sign energy, so Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And we did say Sagittarius was over there, right? But it's just talking about the higher vibrational or lower vibrational frequencies of fire sign zodiac energy in general here. But the wand can be used as a tool or a weapon. Okay, so it can be like, is my physical health or the other person's, vice versa, in a good place and a not so good place? Is my passion, my creativity at its full extent, or is it dwindling and it needs to be recharged? Okay, that kind of thing. So it's just kind of like a brief underneath part of your reading, but let's keep going and go in the official order of those 4 cards here, Leo. All right, so we'll talk real quickly, and I'll try to mention it again, of the possible dates these things may occur on. So again, we're talking about possibly for some the whole month of February. It could be a little bit of January in the past, or even March coming up. So different for everybody. But we're saying the first card can be from around February 1st through the 9th. The second week, can be from around February 10th through the 17th. And the third card and third and fourth week, both here, I just wrote down the 18th through the 27th. So it wasn't exactly, split up the way I wanted it to be as far as a week's time, right? So the first 2 are 7 days each, and the other 2 combined are like 12 days or whatever. So yeah, Anyway, again, it's just a guideline. So let's start off here, Leo. We have the Death card in the reverse position. Again, this is Scorpio energy, and this could be that first week of February that we are talking about here for some of you guys. But it looks like a little bit of an energetic blockage, gentle reminder, or challenge, as I like to call it, with this Death card in the reverse position. It could be that somebody here, or someone, or some energy is resisting some type of change, right? So change can always be scary, but it is, sometimes it's scary good, sometimes it's scary bad, but it is a natural part of life that we all go through and have to experience. So when you see the Death card in the reverse position, it's almost like somebody, if you're resisting an ending, you could be possibly also resisting a new beginning, right? So I normally talk about the Death card like cleaning out your closet, spring cleaning. So you can't bring in more clothes or organize your closet better if you don't take out the stuff you don't need and donate it or get rid of it, etc. Okay, so again, when that Death card is in the reverse position, though, somebody's not ready yet or willing to clean out their closet to get rid of the old stuff to make room for the new. Okay. But let's kind of see what's underneath this card, because this is where Spirit wants me to talk to you about possibly what made this card come out. All right. So this is energy from the past. It could be a couple of days ago, weeks, months, years, etc., whatever it means for you. But we have the Empress, that's the Libra energy, and Sagittarius Temperance energy. Okay. Again, they are making it possible for the Death card to show up in that reverse position. So it looks like here in the past, we have this divine feminine energy of the Empress, right? Delegating tasks. She's much like a queen in her own right here. And she's using her emotions to make her decisions. We see the waterfall in the background behind her. The waters talk about our emotions, right? So she's using her intuition and in touch with her emotions, the divine feminine energy, right, that we all have inside of us, whether we're however we identify or all that good stuff. Okay. But she also delegates tasks to others, so she doesn't try to accomplish everything. We do like to say, me and Spirit and some other people like to call the Empress like the CEO of the tarot, right? So she's the businesswoman, she's the top female executive, whatever, right? So she is, again, showing some type of authority or a power, or just displaying some type of confidence in general here. Now, when we pair it with the Temperance card in the right side up position, Sagittarius energy, this is talking about balance and patience, right? So this woman is taking the water, the emotions, and transforming them using alchemy, weighing things back and forth between the physical 3D world, which will say her one foot on land and then the other foot in the water, could be the 5D spiritual world. So it's kind of curious, right? If you've got these two energies from the past, they're both about forward momentum and progress, then why would possibly the Death card be in the reverse position? Well, it could be for some that there is some type of, we could say, divine feminine energy that's not being appreciated or brought out, or for somebody is worried that possibly these energies can't be accomplished again in the future with whatever these changes represent with the Death card, if it was right side up, right? So it's interesting, because normally if it was, we have the owl here, right? So you could say the owl is that wisdom energy, right? Highly divine feminine energy. Not saying masculine isn't have its own beautiful wisdom, right? We're not saying that, okay? But just having that balance between the masculine and feminine energy. So it could just be as simple as that, is that there's some kind of masculine and feminine energy that is out of balance. It could be yeah, I mean, it will be different for everybody, so I don't want to stay too long there. Why don't we go back and revisit that part after we go through the whole reading and see if any other stuff that we discover kind of adds to it? Because again, I don't want to just stay there forever and take away from everything else we're trying to talk about here. Okay. Um, but yeah, it looks like though, whatever this energy is in the first week here, Leo, that again, a little bit of energetic blockage, gentle reminder, or challenge, or slowdown of energy with the death card in the reverse position. By the time we get to the second card, second week, the energy is slowly starting to pick up again. And we said this one could be from around February 10th through the 17th or so, with the Five of Sacred Circles in the right side up position, also known as Five of Pentacles. Okay, so we got Earth sign energy here, right? So it's not their official card, but could be Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn here. All right, and so here we see this woman has left the village, okay, to go off and see the medicine woman, the female shaman. Okay, so she's looking for some type of guidance and assistance, but she also needs some type of rest here, spiritual rest. Okay, so when we talk about the Five of Sacred Circles or Five of Pentacles, it can be related to finances, to money, to wealth, all forms of abundance in our life. But if it's not necessarily those things, or in conjunction with those things, it could also be about our values, right? So am I being valued enough? Is the other person, is the general environment where I live, where I work, etc., all those kinds of things here. So here the energy is slowly picking up, but not too fast either, right? It's picking up more than the death card in reverse, your first card, but it's still kind of slowing down to say that there needs to be something healed around possibly our idea of what money is, right? Are we coming from a place of lack or of abundance or that kind of thing, right? And again, it could just be also about values here. So that woman's going to go to the shaman. She's going to take some time. She's going to get some medicine, some spiritual or let's say even emotional healing, or even physical healing, all the healing, right? To kind of go and then move forward in her life, or her. I say her because it's shown as a woman, but of course it can be for anybody, right? But yeah, it looks like here, if I had to just look at your whole reading, Leo, I would say that the second week and possibly towards the end of February, beginning of March is going to be the best times, the most complimentary times. If there's something in particular that you're trying to make manifest, okay, or go down or do or whatever you want to say it, okay. But yeah, let's keep going and see what else we have here for you. All right, so now Leo, when we get to your third card, third week, and I just realized you have another major arcana. I didn't even see that earlier. Oh my gosh. Okay. That was my bad. So instead of 4 major arcanas, you have 5. Okay. So again, other zodiac frequencies. We also have Aries here, okay, with the Emperor. I don't know why I didn't see that before, but just to go over, right, we have Scorpio, Libra, Sagittarius, Capricorn, and Aries. So you could be dealing with one of those signs, or you have some of those placements heavily in your birth chart, or the other person does, or it could be referencing something you need to look up in your birth chart, or it could be referencing Aries season, Scorpio season, Libra season, Sagittarius season, Capricorn season, or it means nothing at all. But I wanted to correct myself there, okay? But yeah, let's just put that aside though. So it does, moving forward, where we were about to discuss your third card and third week here, Leo, is that because now you have 3 major arcanas in the past and then 2 in the future, current, present energies, it does talk about change, right? So the more major arcanas have showing up in a reading, the more changes you're going to have. Okay. So, of course, we can see that there's some changes in the past. Everybody has that at some point, right? And then we definitely have some coming up in the future here. So, could be good changes, could be not so good changes, right? But it is always about our perspective, okay, and our thoughts and how we manifest. So let's talk about this though. The Emperor in the reverse position coming in at your third card, third week, is a little bit of an energetic blockage, gentle reminder, or challenge here, okay? Because he's in the reverse position. So it could be that for some, there is a little bit of um, this feeling of not quite wanting to step into their power, okay, their royalty, their leadership over themselves, or just in over themselves, yes, or others is what I was trying to say. It came out backwards, but doesn't matter, right? So it could also just be talking about there's a lack of confidence here, or feeling confident in someone's abilities, okay? Now, because it's kind of in the middle of your reading here, and it's following that five of sacred circles too, it could be that someone is not feeling, what's the way to say it, um, having a hard time seeing things from a more um, less opinionated viewpoint, right? So if the emperor was right side up, he's got this bird. It looks like an eagle to me, but who knows exactly, right? That will be sitting on his throne if he was right side up. So being able to see things from a larger perspective. So there's a lack of that going on that's blocking someone or some energy or something here. And it could also be something to do with possibly motivation. I feel like might be the right word, but I'm not sure. But that's kind of what it feels like, right? So Aries would be um, the match to the Empress that you had in the right side up position in the past, right? So normally they would be together almost as king and queen. So because it's in the reverse position, it could have something to do with job stuff or a side hustle, especially also because it's following the five of sacred circles or five of pentacles here. So it could be that somebody is or some energy, if it's not a person, is not feeling confident or like a good leader around some type of entrepreneurship side hustle or something like that. Not necessarily for everybody, but that energy is there, so I wanted to mention it. But let's now go and see what's underneath this card to get even more insight about maybe why this is showing up here for you. All right, so now we have past energy. So it could be a couple days ago, weeks, months, years, etc. We have the Devil card, the Capricorn energy we talked about earlier was the top of your deck, and the bottom of your deck was the Seven of Wands in the right side up position. Okay, so again, please. Sorry, guys, hold on one second. Really? Hermes. No. Okay. You get locked out. All right, sorry, guys. So let me turn this up. I forgot to turn the music back down a little bit. I have the window open too, so you could have heard something. Anyway, so these two cards, the past energy, they're sponsored cards that made it possible for the Emperor in the reverse position to show up here. Okay, so it looks like here in the past, Leo, there could have been some type of addiction or self-sabotaging energy, or just something out of balance between you or someone you're dealing with, multiple people you're dealing with, general environment situation. Because when the Devil card shows up, it talks about our wild side and our not so wild side, right, being out of balance. Okay, so it's like too much on one or the other side. Okay, but then on the other, coin, let's say side of the coin here, you have the Seven of Wands in the right side up position. So it's kind of saying that the Devil card here in the past could have shown up not only because of the imbalances or self-sabotaging or addictions, right? Is because in general there was too much defensive energy with the Seven of Wands being here too. Okay, so We talked about in the beginning that the wands talk about our physical body, our physical health, our passions, okay, what gets us going, right? So it could be that if we use the wand as a weapon instead of a tool, then we're defending ourselves, right? We're always at the ready, okay? So it could be, that this emperor in the reverse position here, again, in your third week, is a little bit of mm, you know let me take a step back before I say what I wanted to say. And basically, it's like we've got two earth cards and two fire cards, right? If we look at your whole reading, we've got lots of wands, right? Didn't I say three wands? Yes, three wands. Then we've got fire, earth, water, water, fire. Where's your air? Okay. That's another clue, right? To go to what may aid or help us in switching that emperor in reverse to actually being right side up. So where's the air, right? So again, air sign energies, just their zodiac placements, of course, would be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We have a little bit Libra here, but there still feels like a majority um, of earth and fire and water. Okay, so possibly there needs to be more clear headedness, right? More logical mind, crown chakra energy that needs to be called upon here. Perhaps somebody with that emperor in the reverse position is not seeing clearly. Again, when we were talking about that bird on the top of his throne, right? So not being able to see things from a higher perspective. But there's still growth here, right? It's just a little bit of an energetic blockage, gentle reminder, or challenge, okay, in the third week. So I feel like, well, I don't want to say that yet, so let's just keep going in order, okay? Now we get to your fourth card, fourth week. We have the Eight of Staves in the reverse position, okay? So also known as Eight of Wands. And so this could be that there is some type of communication or opportunity, but it feels more like a communication that is either put on hold, doesn't happen, or isn't well received, with it being in the reverse position. Okay. Um, Now, because it's following the emperor, and we were just talking about air sign energy, right? And we were talking about his bird. Now we've got other birds over here, even though they're upside down, right? Um, there feels like there could be something a little bit. Okay, so hidden is not the right word, but there's something that needs to be aired out, possibly. Okay. Because normally when we talk about the Eight of Staves or Eight of Wands, if it was in the right side up position, that would be that fast communication coming in, whether it's a good communication or bad, whether you give a communication to someone or someone gives it to you, or it comes in general from your spirit guides, guardian angels, right? But it's reversed. So it also could be somebody. I said it could have been put on hold or not well received. So maybe somebody or some energy is not open to listening or even receiving some type of communication here. Um, could also have something to do with balance, right? If I look at all your fire cards here, um, the two in the past, but mainly the temperance card in the past, was more higher vibrational frequencies of fire energy. And then over here, it's more not so high vibe fire energy, right? So it's like maybe another clue here would be like, how can I get my passion, my creativity, the higher vibration fire energy back up for myself or for others? Or etc. Okay. But yeah, let's keep going though. We still have another tarot card here for you, and then your little oracle cards. And then we'll try to look over the whole thing and see if we can sum it up again. But yes, so now we're going to talk about, guys, be quiet. Now we're going to talk about your tarot confirmation card. So it's going to come in here and confirm all 4 cards, all 4 weeks, all of February that we've just been talking about. And again, it's another fire card or fire energy. But this is a combination of past and future energies. Okay. And here we have the Knight of Wands in the right side up position. This also represents, okay, a communication or opportunity that wants to come in, okay? And because it's a knight, it would be a medium-sized communication or opportunity. So not the smallest message or job opportunity, not the biggest, but it could be in between, right? It's not small potatoes, but it's not the chicken dinner or whatever, right? Whatever thing that makes sense to you as far as that comparison for an example, okay? So when we have this Knight of Wands energy coming in here, and in this deck, they call him the Lord of Flame and Lightning. So he's on his horse. He's it look like it's a winged horse, right? He's carrying fire, in his arm. On one side, there's fire and lightning kind of everywhere. So it's really cool just to look at how the card is depicted here. But it talks about, this steady for momentum and progress. So because it's a combination of past and future energy here, Leo, if somebody or something can be more open to hearing a communication or opportunity or message to come in, and not necessarily be forced to respond right away or be forced to accept an opportunity right away, but just to marinate, that might help it come in more easily, right? From either you yourself or someone else to you, or from your spirit guides, guardian angels, okay? So yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing here so far as far as the tarot. But yeah, now I kind of want to look back real quickly before I get to oracle cards. I wanted to go back to the first card, the Death card in the reverse position that had that Empress and the Temperance card underneath it. Yeah, there's definitely a connection there, right? I lately have been talking about, or maybe I've always done it, I don't know anymore. Your first card and your last card in the main 4, right? So there's a connection here, right? Someone's resisting some ending, new beginning, clearing away of the old to make room for the new with the Death card in reverse. And then somebody or some energy over here is not letting messages or opportunities come in. So it's kind of similar energy in a way, right? Because if you're resisting new communication, whether it's good or bad, or new opportunities, whether they're great or not so great, it's like that that holding on to the old too much, if that makes sense. All right. So I'm going to leave it there. But let's go ahead now and tune into your oracle cards here, dear Leo. So the first one that you got, this is from the Wild Unknown Alchemy deck that my good friend gave me. So the card you got for this time period and even beyond is Dissolution. All right. And it's really pretty blue colors, and we see this bird, another bird, kind of flying into almost like a bowl or something here. So let me just grab my little book since I don't have these guys memorized yet. And we'll just I'll read the key points. So we're not going to read everything, but just kind of see what other messages it has here for you. So it says surrender, dissolving, and formlessness. Okay, so it says dissolution is the great alchemy operation of water. It represents the form becoming formless, that which is solid dissolving into liquid. Okay. Um, it says, for our purposes, it's important to know that um, saluted to, it's like solution, but like with no N or just spelled differently. I can't say it. I don't know if it's Latin. Saluted toludo. I don't know. I'm gonna just say dissolution. For our purposes, it's important to know that dissolution involves a breaking down of definitions, identities, and labels. Okay. The strongholds of the ego drawn into the emotional realm of water. All right. This operation is humbling and disorienting and often feels as though the self we knew has disappeared. When these questions are afoot, the alchemy magic of Saluto is underway. By surrendering to the waves, we reunite with the primordial essence and return to our deepest self. Um, so that's interesting, right? Letting go of ego, labels, getting back to self. I feel that when, because we all, do it from time to time, but when we resist change or we're holding on to things that are old, that could be old labels, old identities, old patterns, right? So you could say that's the first card or the last card here. But let's see what else it says real quickly. So this deck or book likes to mention either a movie or artwork or something to look at to get even deeper, into the energy of this card. So it says, go watch the movie The Shape of Water. Okay. And it says to ponder or think about the sound of rain. Okay, that's beautiful. And it says, water is always in motion, much like our emotions. Dissolution requires us to let the tears flow, to soften the edges, to soak in the healing waters of our feelings. That's nice and true, yes. And then it says, um, okay, that one doesn't apply because it's saying if it showed up with another card from this deck, but we only took one. Okay. So yeah, I think that this was happening more here, Leo, in the past too, with that temperance card, right? We were talking about, excuse me, turn this down. We were talking about the water and patience and taking the emotions and transforming them. And yeah, that's pretty much what I feel like this card is talking about, like to not resist the emotions and to let go of old labels and identities and egos. And so, yeah, I like that card. I don't think I've seen that one yet. All right. And your last oracle card here, dear Leo, is from The Stone People Medicine by Manny Two Feathers. And so the one you got for this time period is Buffalo Magic. Okay. So it says, what can you expect from Buffalo Medicine? Oh, it says medicine, not magic, but same thing in my mind. But excuse me, I meant to say Buffalo Medicine. It says good luck, abundance, strength, and protection. All right. And also reminders not to be wasteful and the courage to speak up. Okay, interesting. So it says Buffalo medicine is good luck medicine. Buffalo brings abundance in all aspects of life: love, health, happiness, and wealth. Count on many things coming your way and be grateful for all the spirit of the buffalo can bring to you. Buffalo medicine gives you the strength to face your problems head on without backing down. It gives you strength during hard times. Native Americans use every part of the buffalo: the flesh for food, the bones for tools, and the hides for teepee covers, moccasins, and clothing. Even the entrails were cleaned and used for water bags and bowstrings. Dried buffalo meat mixed with berries and fat made excellent high protein food. It kept the members of the village well fed while they were on the move. All right, and then blah, blah, blah. I don't want to read all of it. And then it says both male and female buffaloes have horns. This medicine allows you to protect yourself from anything or anyone that tries to harm you, whether you're a male or female. Okay, interesting. Gives you the ability to store energy and call upon it whenever you need, to nourish yourself spiritually, emotionally, and physically. Yeah, so there is in the main tarot deck that I use, right, we have some Native American references. So I think it's the Ace of Pentacles or Ace of Sacred Circles in the main deck that I use. There's always a little tiny buffalo on the side. I always say how like they use all the animal. But the other thing about buffalo that I think of too, it may be a message for somebody as well, is like they're such a big animal, right? So they really not like, I guess they could be a proud animal, but I don't think animals really have pride, but I feel like it's a stepping into power that could be useful here as well. All right. So hopefully you got something from this message, dear Leo. And always feel free to let me know in the comments down below if you like. But yeah, also thank you for your likes, for your views, for your shares, and your subscriptions. They're all great free ways to support the channel here. So if you want to give it a thumbs up in the first day or two, it does tell YouTube's algorithms to share it more with others. And then to physically send it to friends or families. Always appreciate it if you feel guided, but no pressure. And then the third free way to support the channel, if you haven't already, is to hit the subscribe button, as long as you have your free YouTube account set up with your email. It'll just notify you when I put out new readings. All right, so with all that being said, we're going to switch over. It's about 41 minutes to shuffle the cards for Virgo. All right, so we will also do some more incense to clear the cards as well. We'll do another sound bell too, to just kind of let go of the Leo energy and switch over to the Virgo energy. Oh yes, one more thing here too, for some people who are still here. Leo, if you want to see your picture of all the cards I took it earlier, after this live is done, it will be uploaded. So if you want to check that out, all you have to do is click in the description box below to see the photo. So yes, let's let these cards charge with the crystals here while I just kind of move stuff around and get a little more centered. Oh, and my lady's falling over. Oh, not Tricke, the Greek goddess of money and fortune. All right, let's do the incense real quickly. All right, I couldn't find my small lighter, so I was like, I'll just grab this big grill lighter. So hopefully that will get going in a second here. Just got all the stuff in my hands. All right. Yeah, is it going? Okay. So you can barely see it. So we're just going to pass the cards through the smoke a little bit too. Clearing. And then we'll do shuffling after the sound bell. Oops. So, 1, 2. Spoke the wrong way. All right. That's not shuffling yet. We're just throwing the cards in there. In case people are like, what kind of shuffling is that? Okay. We're just getting it pre-shuffle. Getting it ready. Okay, so let's move this over. I'm missing my other crystal. I don't know where it went. That's okay. We got some down here. Just throw them up top. All right. Okay, let's do a quick sound bell here. Of course, we're going to switch over to Virgo now. All right. So same thing applies. It's going to be a general reading for Virgo. It can cover anything like love, work, friends, family, health, money, etc. It is a timeless reading, so for some it could resonate before or after the original time frame of February 2023. Everybody's welcome, whether you're sun sign Virgo, you have your moon in Virgo, your rising or ascendant Virgo. We all have Virgo somewhere in our chart. And yeah, so let's go ahead and do a quick sound bell. It helps ground us and release anything that was holding us back. Also let go of the Leo energy that we just did and switch over to Virgo. And help me be a clear channel for spirit. All right. So for Virgo. All right. Virgo. All right. Let's go ahead and get into it. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for Earth sign Virgo for February 2023. Virgo. Spirits, guide my hands. Spirits, messages for Earth sign Virgo for their highest vibration for February 2023. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for Earth sign Virgo. What do they need to see? What do they need to know for the highest vibration for February? Okay. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for Earth sign Virgo for February 2023. 4 cards only, please, spirits. Messages for Virgo. Messages for Earth sign Virgo for February 2023. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? Messages for Virgo, Earth sign Virgo for February 2023. All right, so we're going to take the top and the bottom, and we'll figure out where the spirit wants that in a little bit. Yeah, let me rotate stuff here for a second. Running out of space. So let's make sure I want these this way. Spirits on love and light, respect and reverence before, during, and after. Thank you, of course, for listening. Spirits, do you want the moon card in the reverse position to represent the first tarot card for this Virgo reading? And spirits, do you want the King of Staves in the right side up position to represent the second tarot card for this Virgo reading? Okay. And spirits, thank you for listening. Love and light. Spirits, do you want the Two of Swords in the right side up position to represent the third tarot card for this Virgo reading? Okay. And Spirit says you want the Emperor in the right side up position to represent the 4th tarot card for this Virgo reading. Spirits, did you want the 8 of Sacred Circles in the right side up position to represent what's on top of this? Why did I just do that again? On top of this Ancestral Path tarot deck for this Virgo reading, did you want the 8 of Sacred Circles? Okay, thank you. And Spirits, did you want the Queen of Staves in the right side up position to represent what's on the bottom of this Ancestral Path tarot deck for this Virgo reading? And Spirits, did you want me to talk about the 8 of Sacred Circles in the right side up position and the Queen of Staves in the right side up position when I talk about the World card in the reverse position? Thank you. All right, let's do this deck here quickly. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for Earth sign Virgo for February 2023. Spirits, one card only, please, for Earth sign Virgo for February 2023. What do they need to see? What do they need to know for their highest vibration? Messages for Virgo. Messages for Virgo. Okay, and then we do the same thing. We're going to do the top and the bottom. Just get these out of the way and confirm with what they want. Spirits, did you want the 10 of Cups in the reverse position to represent the one and only tarot confirmation card for this Virgo reading? Okay. All right, they said yes, so we'll do that. And Spirits in Love and Light, did you want the Hermit in the reverse position to represent what's on top of this Hermetic tarot deck for this Virgo reading? And Spirits, did you want the Ace of Pentacles in the right side up position to represent what's on the bottom of this Hermetic tarot deck for this Virgo reading? And I don't know, they may want it here or over here, possibly, or even over here. So let's confirm with Spirit real quickly. Spirit, did you want me to talk about the Hermit in the reverse position and the Ace of Pentacles in the right side up position when I talk about the Two of Swords in the right side up position? No. Okay. Maybe over here. Thank you, Spirits. Do you want me to talk about the Hermit in the right side up position and the Ace of Pentacles? I'm sorry, the Hermit in the reverse position and the Ace of Pentacles in the right side up position when I talk about the 10 of Cups in the reverse position? Okay, they said yes, so we're going to leave that there. All right, so now we just need our quick little oracle cards and we'll be ready. So let me just put these crystals back. All right, so this is a really small oracle deck that only has 10 cards. So just so you know, you're like, oh, why is it so small? That's the way it was made. So, all right. Oracle messages for Virgo for February 2023. One card only, please, Spirits. What do they need to see? All right. So just going to open up the page for later so it's ready. They don't have page numbers, so I just have to like go through it. Okay, there it is. So put that there, and then one more oracle card. And we'll get started. Music. All right. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for Earth sign Virgo for February 2023. It's a really not great shuffle. We're going to do another one. These cards are a little difficult to shuffle just because of the shape and the size, but we're going to mix them all up anyway. So, Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for Earth sign Virgo for February 2023. All right. Spirits, guide my hands. One card only, please, Spirits, for Right, Virgo. Okay. That was fast. I like it. All right. And I'll do the same thing. Just put the page number. Get it ready for later. All right. What are we doing here? 141. Oh. So we got that. We just take our picture and we'll get started. All right. Virgo. Actually, because I can't see all the cards here. It's like if you don't have it positioned right, then there's like a glare and it's just annoying. Okay. Anyway, let's do this. Picture. Okay. Did it come out? Yeah. We're good. All right. So Virgo, let's see what time we're at now. We're at 55, 56 minutes almost. All right, so I'll make a mental note. But yes, let's see what we have here for you, dear Virgo. All right, so let's call out your cards here first. We got the moon in the reverse position here. We have the King of Staves in the right side up position, the Two of Swords in the right side up position, excuse me, and the Emperor in the right side up position. So yeah, we're going to talk about the first four main cards, and then we'll go over where Spirit wants me to talk to you guys about where they want these other cards, right? So it looks like with the first card and then the confirmation card, we'll get a little more insight, what's on the top and the bottom of each of the two different tarot decks that I'm using. And then at the very end, we have your two oracle cards as well. All right, so Virgo, let's see here. For February, what other zodiac frequencies are showing up here for you as far as the major arcana? So we've got Pisces, Aries, and you, Virgo. All right. So we've got three major arcanas. Just want to make sure. Yep, looks like three. So one is in the past position and two are in the future, current, present possibilities positions. So when you have the more major arcanas in your reading, especially because we only have a small amount of cards here that I've pulled. Some people pull like a Celtic Cross or like a lot more cards. That when you have more majors, it talks about changes, right? So more change, or good change, bad change, but just change, right? So you've got three, so not as many as, let's say, Leo had, right? But it's not a competition, okay? Just something to note. So what are the zodiac frequencies that I mentioned earlier mean? We had the Pisces, the Aries, and the Virgo. So you could be dealing with a Pisces, Aries, or Virgo, or you have a lot of that in your birth chart, or the other person you're dealing with, multiple people, or it could be referencing Pisces season, Aries season, Virgo season, right? Of this year, of last year, of next year. Or it could be referencing something in your birth chart or the other person's birth chart that would give you even more insight, or it means nothing at all to you and you're just like, let's get into the reading. So just wanted to mention it ahead of time. All right, so let's see here real quickly too, as far as your minor arcana, what is the one that's the most prevalent? So we've got two wands, hold on, one cup, and two wands, one cup, one sword, and two pentacles. Okay, so it's a tie between the pentacles, or sacred circles as it's known in this deck, and between the wands, or the staves as it's known in this deck. So what does that mean? It could be an underlying theme or message for this reading for some people So when we talk about pentacles, we're talking about money, finances, but not just that, all forms of abundance, whatever you want to bring into your life. But also it talks about our values, our value system. So am I being valued enough? Is the other person, vice versa, the environment, etc. Apply it to how it makes sense for you, as far as the sacred circles or pentacles. And then with the staves or wands, it represents our physical body. It can talk about our health. It can talk about our passions, what fuels us, right? So it could be asking us, is our health in a good place, or our passion in a good place or not so good place? So that could be another little underlying theme to the reading. But yeah, just kind of take it with a grain of salt and see if it makes sense for you later. All right, so let's see here, Virgo, though. Let's go ahead and go in order and start with your first four cards at the top. So this, is a general reading, like I said before, but it can cover all of February, or can be a little bit before, a little bit after, going either side by a couple of months, let's say. So, but for the purpose of this reading, we're going to just talk about real quickly when these things may take place for you. It's just a guideline, right? So we're saying the first card, first week, can be from around February 1st through the 9th. Second card, second week, can be from around February 10th through the 17th. And the third and fourth cards and weeks can be from anywhere from February 18th through the 27th. All right, so I'll say the dates again when we're there, but again, it's just a guideline, it's not exact. All right, so Virgo, we'll start off with this Pisces energy here, the moon in the reverse position. And again, first week of February for some here. But it looks like a little bit of, it could be an energetic blockage, gentle reminder, or challenge for some. But then on the other side, you could see the moon in the reverse position as a good thing. So on the other side, for some people, it could be that now they're seeing the light, or you're seeing the light. You're getting more information that you didn't have before. You're getting more wisdom around a situation or person or environment that wasn't totally clear in the past. Okay. So yeah. So again, Pisces energy here. But let's kind of, before we go too deep into it, see what's underneath it first, right? So that's where Spirit wants me to talk to you about, um, past information that made it possible for this moon card to show up in the reverse position. Okay. So what we have, it could be a couple of days, weeks, months, years, etc. We have the Eight of Sacred Circles in the right side up position, also known as Eight of Pentacles, and the Queen of Staves in the right side up position, also known as Queen of Wands. So these two are the sponsor cards that made it possible for this moon to show up in that reverse position here in the first week. So it looks like here in the past, Virgo, there was a really busy time period with something that was keeping you really busy, or the other person, multiple general environment situation. With that Eight of Pentacles in the right side up position, this talks about productivity, right? So this woman is learning to make drums, and she's getting really good at it, but like there's so many drum orders, so they're just like, okay, you got to make the next drum. You got to make the next drum, right? So that's that busy time, the high production of something, okay? And because they are sacred circles or pentacles, it could be that in the past here in some way, Virgo, there was more money financially, in your wealth, your finances, etc. here, because that's what pentacles and sacred circles talk about generally. But it also could be about your values. Perhaps you were valued more in the past in some way, at work, in a relationship, with friends or family, whatever it is, right? But there was just, it was a busier time in the past in some way, and there was more resources, earth sign energy, just like you, right? So, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, right? And then on the other side here in the past, with this Queen of Staves or Queen of Wands in the right side up position, fire sign energy, so Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, there was this level of authority perhaps over others, in something like a relationship or a job work situation, but it doesn't have to be. If it wasn't that, it could have just been that there was more confidence and more resources around you in the past. Okay, I say resources again because this queen, right, in Egypt, right, they had people dress them back then, right, and so they had people doing everything, all their little slaves and servants, whatever you want to call them. Okay. So even if there wasn't, let's say, more money in the past, even though it looks like there was over here, there could have just been more people, resources that were provided to you or for the other person, general environment situation here in the past. Now, also with the Queen of Staves here, there could have been um, this kind of silent knowing or feeling comfortable to rest in some way. If you look really closely at this card, her eyes are closed, right? So we see there's some kind of animal in the background of this card, drinking by the Nile River. So if you're an animal and you're in the wild and you're by yourself, right, you're not going to necessarily close your eyes because a predator could come and get you, right? But she can close her eyes because, again, she has those slaves, those servants, the whole kingdom kind of looking out for her. Okay. So when we pair these two past energies with the moon in reverse, it's pretty interesting because if we just look at the way that these cards are depicted, you've got two pretty strong women here in the past, or divine, highly divine feminine energy that we all have inside of us, whether we're male, female, or however we identify, right? If you look at it in just that way, it's like normally if we talk about the moon in the reverse position, again, for some that are starting to see the light, they're gaining more information now the sun's coming out instead of the moon being out, right? Then the intuition of these two women would be coming in to find some type of wisdom around what wasn't known before. Okay. But for the other group of you guys, that if this is seen as more of an energetic blockage or challenge, right? Because when the moon card is right side up, it's not all bad either, right? It's very dreamlike, it's Neptune energy, and it's very creative energy. So if it being in the reverse position for some as an energetic blockage, gentle reminder, or challenge, it could be writer's block or a creativity block, or yeah, something about possibly even the emotions being blocked. If we're talking about all the water that's in this card, the water underneath the moon being blocked. Okay. So it can kind of go either or it can be both, right? But that's kind of just what we're picking up so far here, Virgo. But whatever this is here for you, it doesn't last that long, because then when we move into your second card, your second week, the energy starts to move a lot faster. So if you looked at the first card, the moon in reverse, it's like slowed down or completely stopped energy. That then when we get to your second card, second week, the energy is moving more quickly again, forward momentum and progress. And here we have the King of Staves or King of Wands right side up position here. So again, this is fire sign energy, but this talks about somebody now being more comfortable after these things possibly came to light, gaining more knowledge or wisdom around something. This person is feeling more confident, or the energy in general is feeling more confident in stepping into a leadership role or becoming just more confident, like I said. Okay. Or it could also be that somebody is tapping into the higher vibrational frequencies of fire sign energy, right? Because he's a king. Okay. So when a lot of times when you see a king or a queen, it can talk about leveling up for some people. So if there was like maybe a promotion during this week, or a leveling up in a relationship, romantic, platonic, etc., or getting better health, right? Because staves or wands, this talks about our physical body and our health for some. So can be better health here too, starting in that second week of February. But yeah, however it may come together for you, this is some really nice energy. And then we, of course, have these two lions on the side too. So Of course, that could be referencing Leo, since we said Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, but it's also having courage for something and feeling protected, right? So this guy is definitely protected on both sides, just with the alliance. But then, of course, just like his queen that was in the past, the Queen of Staves, he's got a big team behind him as well to help um, him manifest whatever he wants to manifest in his life. So if I had to just pause the reading here for a moment, Virgo, I would say the best weeks are looking like your second week and your fourth week here for your reading. If I had to say the best, the most complementary energy, if there was something you wanted to accomplish or do or start or manifest or the other person, then the second or fourth weeks looks like the best. All right. But let's keep going here and see what else comes out for you here, Virgo. So now we're at your third card, third week, and I said it could be anywhere from February 18th through the 27th, just because it wasn't an exact seven days on each one. So again, it's just a guideline, all right. But we have the Two of Swords energy in the right side up position. So now the energy has completely slowed down and stopped again in this third week, but it's not necessarily bad, right? But this energy or this person needs to make some type of decision and they haven't made it yet, right? So this woman, we see her, we just see the back of her, this Japanese woman, but she always has swords crossing her front and she typically tends to be blindfolded, right? So she's trying to learn how to use her other senses, okay? She's ready for battle, right? She has mental clarity because her swords are going up. That's what the swords talk about in tarot, air sign energy. But she's missing something, and that's using her crown chakra. I mean, her crown chakra. That's over here. We just said that. Using her heart chakra or her emotions together with the logical mind, right? We need both. We can't just have one or the other. So she's also looking at the water, which represents our emotions, and trying to figure out how to bring those things together to make some type of decision here to get up off of the floor and move forward. But there is just that slow down of energy to kind of reflect and think on things. So that's kind of, again, what we see here in that third week. All right. Now, Virgo, when we move forward here, because I feel like that card is pretty self explanatory and hopefully it is, but we've got a lot more to still discuss over here that's more in depth. But yeah, when we come to your fourth card, fourth week, we have that Aries energy that I mentioned earlier, and we have the Emperor in the in the right side up position. Sorry. I was about to say reversed, but no, he's right side up. Okay. So this is like, it's interesting. It's like you have a King of Staves in the second week, and then you have an Emperor in the fourth week. It could be for some people that there is a leveling up in the second week and the fourth week, right? I said it could be job, it could be relationship, romantic, platonic, it could be health. When I say leveling up, it's whatever the next step up is, okay, in somebody's particular viewpoint or philosophy of what a relationship, romantic relationship is, or what their work situation is, or with friends or family or health, whatever it is. It's like getting better, right? To go up is generally to get better. So that's nice to see. Again, the second and fourth week. It could also be for some that by the time we talk about the end of February, possibly even the beginning of March, there is this entrepreneurship energy that wants to come in and do things on their own in a certain way. If we're talking about the Emperor, Aries energy is the first sign of the zodiac too. So to be independent, even though he's a king and or he's an emperor, same thing, right? But even though he has that big team behind him, and he's royalty, maybe also still wants to do things kind of by himself and show that he's self-reliant or something in some shape or form here, okay? But the only thing I would say about the Aries energy a little bit, but it's just not it didn't come out in the reverse position, is that there can be a little bit of stubbornness, right? So if we think of the Aries symbol or animal, it's the ram, right? So there can be the lower vibrational frequencies of fire sign Aries energy could be fighting, right? Because Aries is the god of war, right? So that kind of thing. But I don't feel like that is there here for the majority of people. It feels more like the high vibe stuff, and it feels more like somebody becoming more confident, stepping into a leadership role, or having some type of leveling up in one area of their life or multiple areas of their life. So let's keep going though. That's pretty good, and see what else is showing up here for you, Virgo. Now, when we get to your tarot confirmation card, this is a combination of past and future energy, and it's going to come in here and confirm all four cards, all 4 weeks that we just kind of talked about. All right. And so this time, it kind of came out as warning is not the right word because that seems so, I don't know. I mean, I say gentle reminder or warning with other stuff, but there's like a better way to say it, and it'll come to me in a minute because it is, let's say, not one of the greatest reversals because some reversals are good, right? This 10 of cups in the reverse position is not necessarily so great, right? But I feel like it's more like a nudge, like if you don't continue on this path or the other person does, multiple people, general environment situation, that you could have 10 of cups in reverse energy. 10 of cups in reverse talks about something not being emotionally fulfilling or satisfactory in some way, right? So all 10 cups, and we put water in cups, water, our emotions, is reversed. So yeah, it's just, let's talk about what's underneath it, and then maybe I'll find a better word instead of warning that will kind of express like how it makes me feel. Okay, so give me a moment to like process it for a second, but let's talk about what's underneath it anyway. Okay, so this is again past energy, both these cards that made it possible for this tarot confirmation card to come out here, the 10 of cups in reverse. So what will we have? We have the Hermit. That's you, your official card. And we'll talk about that in a moment. And then it's in the reverse position here, though, Virgo. And then we also have the Ace of Pentacles in the right side up position. And this is, again, past energy that made it possible for a 10 of Cups reverse to show up. So yeah, it looks like here in the past, Virgo, since it's your official card, the Hermit card, perhaps you were not feeling fully like yourself or being able to express yourself some way in the past. With the Hermit in the reverse position, it could also be the general meaning of the Hermit in the reverse position, that is somebody not trusting their intuition or not slowing down enough to hear their intuition, to hear their gut reaction to things, their inner voice, whatever you want to call it, with it being in the reverse position here. But whatever this was going on in the past, Virgo, it was a catalyst. Okay. So if you weren't feeling fully like yourself back here, or you were having a hard time again with your intuition, taking a necessary break away from people, either physically, energetically, or spiritually, or all those things, okay, that it again acted as a catalyst or prompted you or the other person to then be like, I want the Ace of Pentacles energy. I want endings and new beginnings, and I want it financially, right? Because we're talking about pentacles. So I want a financial new beginning, or I want a new beginning around my values, how I'm valued, how others value me, how I value myself, right? But again, this is past energy. And the Ace of Pentacles also talks about earth sign energy, just like you, right, Virgo, or depending on where you have Virgo in your chart. But it's like our talents and innate gifts in the past are always strengthened when we see any ace in the tarot show up. So it could be that in the past, somebody possibly felt that They had to hold back some part of themselves with the Hermit in the reverse position. That's you, Virgo. They had to hold back some part of themselves or not express themselves or listen to themselves because they thought if they did or when they did, it would affect their finances or it'd affect their values in some way here. Okay. Or it also would affect your innate talents and gifts or their innate talents and gifts here. So when we put those again together with that 10 of cups in the reverse position, um, yeah, it's not a warning. It's like, don't necessarily be triggered here, Virgo, to go back to some way of responding where you are, again, not speaking up for yourself, not fully in your zone, not feeling confident about your abilities, feeling like you have to stifle or quiet yourself in order to be valued more or in order to get this financial new beginning. So, yeah, that's kind of really how I see it there. But it will be a little different for everybody. um, but yeah, that's what we have for you as far as the tarot. But let's also talk about your oracle cards here, real quickly, Virgo. So the first one that you got, this is from the Wild Unknown Alchemy deck that my dear friend got me. And it is the Autonomy, okay, card. And it talks about wildness, fierceness, and hunger, okay? It says in medieval times, autonomy became known as the gray wolf of alchemy. And it's not autonomy, I'm saying it wrong. It's I can't pronounce it, but it's not autonomy. I'm having a moment. How do you say it? It's why can't I say this right now? Am I having like a brain fart? Okay, well it'll come back to me. I'm just gonna keep picking out the key points here because I definitely am a little tired today and just need more caffeine, and I'm not allowed to have caffeine. So, anyway, just bear with me. But when this card shows up and it has the wolf on front of it, right, and we definitely have some astronomy, elements in the background. It looks like space. We've got some of the zodiac symbols here. But yeah, let's see what it says. It says, for some reason, this card must be read with delicacy. Okay, because the unpredictable qualities and its abilities to eat away at materials in the laboratory, this metal that we're talking about, I guess it's a metal, right? Because this is the alchemy deck here. So it says that we have to be gentle when we talk about um, this energy. It says on one hand, it represents the wild and free spirit that longs to express itself in the world. And on the other hand, it represents a fierceness that can turn into destruction or corrosive at the drop of a hat. The message here is clear. Channel the gray wolf's energy towards creativity. Okay. So remember how I said earlier for some people with the moon in the reverse position, your first card, that there could have been some type of creative block for some, or their emotions were blocked for some. Well, it just talked about creativity. So there you go for those people, group of people who are feeling that. But yeah, it says challenge your creativity to come out from the shadows and express itself. Embark on a creative project or adventure that's calling you rather than focusing on why you can't. Once you begin, don't be guilty or don't feel guilt. The gray wolf responds to respect, not repression. Okay, interesting. Let's see what else it says here. It says another interpretation of this material or this card is that something is eating away or wearing away at a situation or person. Let this possibility be open to deeper revelations. All right. And this book and deck always talks about a movie or some artwork or something to get more into the energy of this card. So it says to go deeper, read Women Who Run with the Wolves by Clarissa Paloka Estades. Okay, Women Who Run with the Wolves. If I'm mispronouncing her name, that's the name of the book. Okay. And it says to ponder or to go deeper, think of corrosion as medicine. Um, so, yeah, so if we think of, um, I'm trying to think of a good example, like when you take soda and you clean your car battery, it's cleaning away, it's corroding away at the parts that are needing to be moved away that are no longer good and clean, right? So maybe it's just talking about some kind of detox here, perhaps for some. Um, it says the gray wolf that shows up in this card can most easily be felt through the laboratory of the human body. So it says dance, run, shake, and breathe. Okay. So very nice and interesting. Always good advice no matter what time. So yeah, that is your first oracle card here, Virgo. Let's get your second one real quickly before we wrap it up. So for this time period or even beyond, you got the Man in the Maze Medicine card. And this is from Stone People Medicine by Manny Two Feathers. All right, so let's get the key points here real quickly since I don't have all these memorized. But it says, what can you expect from Man in the Maze Medicine? It says, your own spirit guide or guardian angel, protection from your problems, spiritual, emotional, and physical balance, guidance, and solutions. Okay, that sounds good. All right, so let's see here what else it says. It says, the man in the maze is your personal spirit guide through life. The maze signifies our world with all the twists and turns of life. She, could be also called your native guardian angel. That's another way to say the man in the maze. From the day we become human, from the day we human beings are born, we face problems daily. See, I'm not pronouncing this right. See, our older brother, comes to our aid to help us with problems that make our lives hard. He is present our entire life, and through his presence, though his presence is known by few. Older brother helps us find our spiritual, emotional, and physical balance and is our protector. In the center of the maze, Etho, our Sun Father, waits to bless us. He takes us by the hand and introduces us to the Creator and the next world when this life is past. If you find yourself meeting obstacles every time you set out to do a certain thing, take Man in the Maze to a quiet place. Hold a stone in your hand and concentrate on the problem. You will find the solution or a solution or the reason behind the delay. All these things will come to you. Perhaps another path will become clear, or an easier solution will present itself. Okay. Um, yeah, so I feel that even though in that imagery we just see this little tiny man at the top of the maze, if you guys can see it, it's saying that the creator's there, right? And it's also saying that the older brother is there, but we just don't see them, right? So it's kind of saying, my mind of another way of looking at it is to trust, the twists and turns that we all have in life, but to know that there are energies and or people, physical people or ancestors, energies, guardian angels that are around that want you to succeed. Okay. So yeah, that's kind of like my takeaway from it, but you have your own as well. So, but yes, dear Virgo, that is your reading, and hopefully you got something from it. Always feel free to let me know in the comments down below how things go for you or how they're going if you feel guided. But yes, I'm going to upload your picture for this reading and also for the Leo reading shortly, in case you want to see one photo of all the cards more up close in detail. All you have to do is click in the description box below and follow the instructions there on how to see the photo. And what else? Yes, if you like this video, only if you feel guided, right? Not only does it tell me that you like something in the video, but it also shares with YouTube's algorithms the first day or so to share it more with others. All right. So that's something to just be aware of, I guess. Um, and another great free way to support the channel is to subscribe if you haven't already. So as long as you have your free YouTube account, it will just notify you when I put out new videos. And then the third great free way to support the channel, of course, is to physically send it to friends and family if you feel guided, but no pressure. So anyway, guys, enjoy this time period. And I will be back. I'm not sure if it's going to be tonight or on Monday night or Tuesday, but we will continue on with Libra and Scorpio, right? So keep going in the normal order of the zodiac. So anyway, I'll see you guys later. Take care. All right, bye.